So hi guys, I think it's 8 now. I'll slightly introduce you guys to about what we are doing today. So if you guys are here for the first time, we have this series we call X-Pert because XMUM, X and X-Tech. Yeah. So today's session is expert session. So we'll discuss about we have Kommu AI, which is a I would say a self-driving car company, not a company lah. You guys are a company, but what you guys do is like, later I let you guys to talk about
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Then probably in this session, we actually invite professional speakers from different tech industry to share their experience and knowledge to our university students, mainly university students. And yeah, let's go to the next slide. Today we have Kean Wei here. Yeah, Kean Wei, probably you can introduce a little bit yourself to our audience.
Hi guys. You guys can just call me Kean, and I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Kommu. So basically, I help my tech guys to settle everything. Well, they can focus on tech. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to mention a little bit about what is Kommu AI?
Okay. Yeah. So basically Kommu AI, what we do is that we have a very simple vision, and which is very direct. Actually, we know in the world all around now, we have a lot of AV, autonomous vehicle. So we were thinking one day, if normal employee or normal people how are they able to actually able to buy this expensive car? So one day we were thinking what if we could change the most owned cars into some AV, or it can actually enable some self-driving features. So from that day, we had that vision and we started building. So we build and we found out, actually we can do it with our own Perodua Axia. So the whole point, the whole vision of us having Kommu here is, Kommu actually stands for community, as well as komunikasi in PM, and the way how we commute in the future. So we just want to build a community where everybody can enjoy the self-driving feature and of course be more safe on the road while driving. So that's Kommu. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Probably if you guys not familiar with Kommu, right? There's an interesting video in YouTube. I think is it YouTube? Is it YouTube? Is it the website as well? Yeah, which they tested the Asia to go through highways, right? I remember it's highway.
Yeah, it's actually LDP and
it's level 2, right?
Yeah, it's level 2. Yeah. It's not so right for us to actually just do the video. Just post it out, but then we needed to show people that's what we are doing.
Yeah, probably later you can share it to them when I leave the stage for you as well.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Probably let's wait for about 1 more minute. We can talk a little bit about it. Then about 805, 806, then we can start your sharing session. So may I ask when actually you started this, when you guys started this Kommu AI?
Our ideation stage, I would say more accurately, is last year, March, like that. Actually, it's almost our anniversary. We did not have a very specific date, but the ideation was it took us around 2 to 3 months for us to figure out, can we actually do this or not? So that's I would say that's the challenging part of a startup I was driving the other day, and last year March, and he called me, hey Kean, what if you try to do this self-driving thing? I was like, can we can do in Malaysia? Or so we were having casual chats and we try to find out why do we want to do this, right? The vision and the mission of the whole company. So we try out a bit, and we did some hardware, we did some software, software, and then we found out that actually it's feasible. So yeah, from last year March up until now, I would say almost 1 year and our progress, consider okay. We will say consider okay, but we want to be faster. Kim, am I lagging?
I think it's whether you or me, probably. I think it's me. I think it's me. Yeah, because just now my connection actually drop out. I drop my connection for a while. Yeah.
Oh.
Probably like without further ado, would you like we leave the stage for you? Then after this, we'll have a Q&A session as well for our audience to actually ask questions.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
No
So
problem.
I'll leave the stage for you. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just share my screen.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, guys. Hold on. Just let me share my screen. All right. So thank you for X-Tech for having, XMUM for having us here today. And Kommu is actually, like I introduced just now, we are 1 year old and we are a startup, not a very big company. I mean, like not we don't call ourselves company, but it's just a simple startup formed by three partners. So now currently we had some interns and they are back to their semester. So we are also in the meanwhile, we are also looking for people that is passionate like in doing this together with us. So without further ado, a simple slogan from Kommu is that with the community approach, we solve the way we commute with vehicular communication. So that's our final goal. And we have like I mentioned just now, Kommu, it actually means actually our name is bilingual, Kommu or Kommu in DM or in English. So komunikasi, communication, the way we commute, and as well as we want to use this community approach to actually bring in self-driving into Malaysia, right? So the title of this whole sharing was actually how we build our self-driving Axia, right? And before we talk about how we actually build it, actually I want to share with you guys like why we built it first. I mean like the why. So many people would thought like, hey, this bunch of kids, like these three guys here, why did they want to build this car? Was it because of a cool factor? Very cool, man. Like Elon building Tesla, it's like a EV built from scratch company. Is it? I mean, like, did we do it because it's cool, or was it like because of safety? Also, some people might be wondering, was it because of convenience? Oh, I can play phones, I can sleep, I can do work in my car while traveling. So the point before we started, like I talked to Kim, shared to Kim just now. Last year March, we were thinking, hey, actually, why did we want to do this? We must have a selling point, right? In order for any companies to actually be successful, there will be a vision and a mission. So we're thinking like, I myself, I'm not rich enough to to have a driver, like some rich kids, they have driver or stuff. So from my point of view, I was thinking, hey, what if every day I can do work in my car, I can call, I can make calls and stuff. So from my side, at that time, I was thinking convenience. But can we really like just do self-driving due to convenience? Like, can we just sell it based on convenience? There'll be a lot of controversial arguments out there, right? So we were thinking like, how can we actually link safety and convenience together before we do this. So there were a lot of, I would say, brainstorming session before we even started like doing software and developing the software and hardware, right? So yeah, and we get to link all these scenarios together. So these scenarios, if students, students might face them less, but as a working adult, right? These are like our daily scenarios that we face. You go to work in the morning, you come back from work in the evening, and all the working time, right? You have traffic jam, and then you'll be very tired. Even long road trips, right? So we were thinking like, how can we actually link the point of lack of driving assistance to all these road accidents? And we found out that, hey, without driving assistance, because nowadays we still need to drive with our hands, with our legs, right? So without driving assistance, the whole driving experience would be very energy draining, because you have to focus on the road, that you cannot take your eyes off, right? And then it becomes frustration or even tiredness, where we know that a 2 hours long drive can actually ruin your whole day, right? Some more with the heavy rain in Malaysia. So all this actually contributed, and one day of jam won't won't make us feel very tiring, but 5 days, 1 year, few years, like all these accumulate into some very negative energy, and it actually causes accident. And we know that in Malaysia, accident is one of the very high cost of casualties, right? So casualties. So that is why we were thinking, hey, that is how we are gonna link driving assistance, which because now we can't call ourselves full self-driving yet. We are just at level 2, and which means we still need a driver this attention while the system is engaged, right? So we need this driving assistance to actually minimize road accident. So that's our whole value proposition. And like I shared just now as well, we don't want to aim for the, we don't want to do this for the rich people only. We want to actually develop this system for Malaysian vehicles, which is why we have our Perodua Axia today. So the vision of Kommu is actually to develop a plug-and-play advanced driver assistance system, which we call ADAS in short, and to provide self-driving feature for low-end Malaysian vehicles. So that's the whole idea of Kommu. Nothing more than that, right? So yeah, so now let's talk about simply brief about how actually we started, right? So we're thinking, okay, now we see all the scenarios. There is a problem for us to solve in the in the society. And so how did we start? Basically, we took out a piece of blank paper, 3 of us sit together, and we were thinking, hey, actually, in order to do to make a car self-drive, to turn a car self-drive, there will be 3 elements that we need to look into: steering, brake pedal, and the accelerator. So which are the dash box. So we were drawing on this, scribbling on this white piece of paper, and we're thinking, hey, how can we actually link them together? So it not only we did our CTO Ting, he doesn't only like to code, but he actually like to do a lot of hardware stuff. So he's from mechatronic. His background is mechatronic. So basically, we're thinking like, hey, how can we actually link these three elements together? And that is when we draw the solid box, we name it Kommu command without even having anything in, having anything in mind yet. Like we just basically put down a box there, and this thing, let's call it Kommu command. And this box here in the middle, it will command everything. It will command the steering, it will command the pedal, and it will command the accelerator. So, and as of now, I think you guys might know already. So basically, Kommu command, it acts as the brain of the whole system. Up until now, we are still calling this product, this hardware, of course, with the AI element inside, and it's called Kommu command. So that is the brain of the system. And in order for the brain of the system to give out commands, what do we need more? Then we added another box beside. Hey, we need eyes for the car. So that's when we actually created another thing. We have another hardware, which is Kommu Vision. So it actually has this camera, and what it does is computer vision. So and with these 2 solid box, right, it actually sum up our whole, we can actually build the whole Kommu system already. So there is a very, back in last year, this is how we started, by drawing boxes, and we start to try out whether this box can actually do their work or not, like to give out commands as well as to take in vision for the system. Right. So back in February, I think it was around February or March like that. So it was quite, we do not have a very specific date, and we started out trying things like, so these are some hardwares that Ting he built. He is, like I mentioned, he's mechatronic, and he's into all these hardware stuff, and this is what he built at his house. So as you guys can see on the rightmost one is actually phone. Okay, so this phone is using a software now we call it a Buka Pilot. It's actually it's built upon an open source software, which is Open Pilot. And like just now, Kim did mention, it's actually another US company it's Kommu, and it's a US company, so they actually open source their whole whole driving agent, and we were actually contributing in the community. And now we try to build this, we try to localize this system for our own Malaysian vehicles, which is Perodua, which is not supported by them, right? So back in February last year, we built our simulator. Of course, before we didn't, before we bought the Axia, right? We not so brave. Because the Axia also not cheap lah, like it's for students. So what we did was we bought all these second-hand spare parts of a real Perodua car, and we built this simulator. We try to get all the spare parts, the steering wheel, the pedals, both the pedals, the braking system, as well as the gas accelerator. So we put them together, and then we try to put our hardware that you guys saw just now in to actually try and control this simulator. And what we did was exceptional. As you guys can see in the right hand, in the right side video, actually we did not have this all this. We did not use any AI model, AI software first. What we did was to try and see whether we can actually intercept into this electrical system of the whole car or not first. So basically what we did here is we were still using wire. As you guys can see, there's a wire dangling down there through this joystick. So we're using this joystick to actually control, to turn the steering wheel, and we found, oh, hey, actually we can do that. So it's like hacking into the Perodua system. Like I mentioned, these are like real Perodua parts, and basically we can do this. So we found out, okay, this is one small milestone achieved. So what we do next, in March, we bought our own Axia, and this is Ting. So basically, we bought our own Perodua Axia, and it's the 2020 model, and it's the advanced variant. And right after we bought it, he plugged in his joystick, and he's controlling the steering wheel, as you guys can see from on the right hand side video. So basically, it's like, hey, we can do that. So once we know that actually we can control it with a joystick, meaning to say whatever kind of electrical signal, using back the same path, right? We can actually tilt the steering according to our input to the car and output from our whole software, right? So back in March, we started to look into Open Pilot's all this data, because they do have some kind of data in their database, and we took out some of them, and we try to retrain, not to say retrain, but we tried to extract some of this data. And then because every car actually it has some different parameters that we have to tweak. So Perodua Axia was not supported by the whole Open Pilot system, and we actually took out, we referred to what they did a bit, and then we also, we of course have a lot of that. We have talents here. So basically we studied a bit on this ML model, and we successfully integrate this software into our hardware. So which is how we actually did this user testing experience. Back in last year, May, we connected this simulator to a arcade video game, as you guys can see in the projector screen. So basically this is Ting. He's doing a demo of actually how to engage the system. Like this one, back then we cannot have any test drive event or what, so we started small, right? So what we did was we invited friends, family and friends to actually come and see, hey, we have this very ugly simulator, but then what it can do, it could surprise you. So we were telling them, hey, you can come and try, you sit at this simulator, play a arcade video game, and once you press this button, it actually can do self-driving. It can actually play the game by itself. So as you guys can see, the steering is tilting. Ting, he actually pressed a button. That time he pressed a button and it actually engaged the system. So now, by that time, the steering was already, I would say, wireless. So now you guys can see he pressed the button, and the steering is actually still tilting. It actually tally to the projector, the screen projector, you guys can see. So the wheel is still tilting inside the game. And with the vision we actually directed a camera to the projector screen. So yeah, and friends and family, okay lah, they were like, okay lah, not sure whether we can sell or not in the future, but then they was like, okay lah, you guys can continue doing it. So we kind of like got their blessings a bit, and then that's how we strive forward. So yeah, in August 2020, we had this beta, I would say version 0 point something of Kommu Command came out, as well as this Kommu Vision, where we started to do a little bit of on-the-road testing. Yeah. So that was the journey, and in last year, I believe this is when you guys saw us. So it was this video that actually got us a little bit of attention, but some are unwanted ones and some are good ones, of course. So back in last year, September, we actually don't know what happened to us now. We were suddenly very confident and said, hey, let's go and film this on the road in LDP. And this was Bandar Sri Damansara. So we're doing all kinds of testing on the road. And of course, we still need to, I mean, there were still some, I would say, bugs and errors here and there. So we needed to monitor the whole thing. And so, yeah, out of our expectation, actually the system, it did quite well. It can actually do some features like no lane line, auto centering. As you guys can see, this is a very common scenario in Malaysia. Both sides of the road are parked with cars, and then cones with no lane lines after exiting the toll. Yeah, so all these scenarios, the system was able to handle, I would say, not 100%, but we were quite satisfied with it. So up until now, we are still building our beta product, and this was February to this year. So was a few months, I mean like a month ago, and we were actually building our beta product already. So we hope that somehow, in some way, we can actually launch this, not to say sell. Actually, our whole idea here is not to sell this thing, it's actually to bring in self-driving into Malaysia. Yeah, so all these things, we actually design it, 3D printed it, as long as it can actually carry out its function. We are already happy to have people test it out for us, right? So we were also planning to have this test drive event. I mean, back in last year, we posted in some of the Perodua Axia owner group. I'm not sure whether you guys know or not, but there are a lot of Axia owner groups. Beza got Beza ones, and Myvi got Myvi ones, right? So we were asking these owners, hey, whether you guys want to test this thing or not. So yeah, and eventually, and actually, a lot of people actually interested, but due to the pandemic case, we had to postpone. Actually, it was 20th of this month, 20th March. We actually got a lot of this approval from we were entering this NTIS National Technology Innovation Sandbox program, and we got a test site for our test drive event. And we nowadays, even when we need to test legally on the road using our system, we go to Bukit Jalil TPM Technology Park Malaysia as well. So we basically got that test site, but unfortunately we had to postpone our event. Yeah, so that was the whole journey of, I would say, how Kommu started. And yeah, and up until now, here are some data metrics that we hope that we want to, I mean, we are looking into that we think will be valuable for us. Just the driving hours, number of beta product pre-orders during test drive event. We wanted to give out beta products on that day, but couldn't do it. Yeah, so we look forward towards that day. And then these are some other metrics that we want to see as well. In the future, we want to port more vehicles onto the system, not only available for products, but other cars as well, even Honda and Toyota, right? Yeah. So many of you, up until now, I think it was. Yeah, so up until now, I shared a little bit of our journey, like since last year, March up until now, and people start to question us, hey, why not other approach? Like, why don't you want to like build a car just like Tesla or like other companies know Movita. Not sure whether you guys heard of it. Movita, they are building shuttle buses and stuff like that. So our whole idea was a little bit different. As I mentioned earlier, we want to expose self-driving to as many Malaysians as possible, and as soon as possible as well. And this is the way that we thought it would be the most direct way. Actually, takkan you already bought this let's say Perodua Maybe, and tomorrow I came out with this car. Hey, you buy my car lah, just to test this. I mean, just to enjoy this self-driving feature, right? So we don't actually, our vision is not to own we don't want to be a car manufacturer or what, but then we want to just bring this self-driving thing and to everybody. So our direction is simple: plug and play to all existing vehicles, and that is actually our mission. Our vision is to let everybody enjoy it, and our mission of Kommu team is actually to do all the hard work, port all these all kinds of vehicles into the system, and then let people use it, right? So yeah, some points like it's because we have this very low entry barrier. We would say it's cheap. It's gonna be cheap. Although we can't sell our products now, but we are estimating it to be very cheap compared to buying a whole car, or even installing very fancy sensors into your cars just to get the self-driving, or we say assisted driving features. I mean, those options are not so worth, we would say. So it's a very low entry barrier where everybody can enjoy this. And also one thing is, we know software is the king, where once a system can do over the air update, right? Basically, you don't need to keep on buying new hardwares. Yeah, even in the future, if say we have like very new features or what, we hope that our hardware that we actually sold out one day is actually able to be updated and can carry out all these functions. Yeah, just like Tesla. Tesla now, they can do all this update over the air, right? So you don't have to keep on changing your model, even you bought one like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, right? So that is our approach. And a little bit of our long-term milestones. Since we started a company, we can't be just like, okay, I want to do this now, and then in the future, let's see how. So basically, we plan longer. We had this quite, I would say, our dream. You can see from 2020 to up to 2028. We want to achieve all this, and we want to try to fully finish this self-assisted, I would say safety assisted driving. Basically what we call is level 2 up to level 3. So the boundary there, I will not use a lot of time to explain that, but basically level 2 is humans still need to give attention to driving, while level 3, yes, you still need, but you can give less attention to the system, right? So we hope in 2 years we can achieve level 2 and level 3, and in the future, full self-drive and of course connected driving, where you guys see in the movies, they can do platooning. Basically, once the traffic light turn green, right, from red, all the cars start moving together. So that could only be done by vehicular communication, which I talked in our slogan, vehicular communication. That's one thing that we want to, our ultimate goal. So there will be no more lag time in driving and stuff like that. So yeah, and this whole long-term milestone is also aligned to the National Automotive Policy. So up until now, we have a lot of up and down, I would say, because still we are startup and we needed funds and stuff to to move forward. So basically, this whole sharing today that I want to bring up to the whole club is that we Kommu want to basically grow as a community and get self-driving legal in Malaysia. Like I mentioned just now, the point here is not to make a business out of it. The point here is to actually bring self-driving to everybody. Like self-driving nowadays, honestly speaking, only tech guys like you, like us, here today will know what is self-driving. My parents, my grandmother, grandfather, they don't know. Like they won't even believe like a car can actually drive itself. So our whole vision is to actually expand this to let people accept the culture of actually using a self-driving car, because there is a lot of social barriers as well. Like people would think, hey, this is too dangerous. So it could actually involve a lot of regulatory stuff. And yeah, so our goal is to get self-driving legal, which is now why we are talking to Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation under Carrie Jamaluddin, and as well as the Ministry of Transport, JPJ, Mari, all these people. And we hope that we can have all these baby steps to actually bring self-driving into Malaysia. Yeah, and in the meanwhile, we are also expanding our team. We like to look for really passionate people that like self-driving, and we want to basically bring safety and driving convenience to everybody, all Malaysians. So you guys can just hit us up. And before we go into the Q&A session, right, I would also like to do a little bit of shout out of our Kommu hackathon, which we planned. Just now we was chatting with Kim, and we actually also plan to have this hackathon in late July or early August, and it will be a theme, of course, something to do with self-driving. And basically, we want to actually let people. I mean, we want to expose. We don't only want to let people use self-driving, right? We want to also expose self-driving to a lot of experts, like good developers like you guys here, to actually experience like how can you guys use some of our hardwares that we provide to you guys to actually build a self-driving RC car. RC car meaning it's actually a toy car. It's a small size car, and we are actually planning to have this indoor track and also some challenges for people to complete. And then so just doing a simple shout out here, and it will be a 36 hours self-driving hackathon. I mean, like this RC car hackathon, and time and venue is to be confirmed. But now we are talking to our university, and forgot to introduce. We are actually from Monash University, so we are talking to Monash, and they are keen to sponsor a space for us, but due to the pandemic still and the university condition, we will still have to wait for further confirmation before we can come out with the real poster and all the details about the hackathon. But basically, we want to have this 4-packs team, and we want to do it a little bit different, where we want 3 technical guys and 1 coordinator. And this coordinator is not exactly a team leader, but he's one guy that can merge everything together. Of course, need to have technical skill. I mean, like this technical knowledge as well. But we hope that one of this coordinator can help to present all this. We want to have the business element inside this hackathon as well. So we hope that we can make this thing a success in July. And here, I would like to invite you guys to come and join us as well. So you guys can just go to this Google Form link and do a simple RSVP first before we can email you guys the real confirmation email, because now the time and venue is still not fixed yet, right? So I think that's all for my sharing today, Kim. I'm not sure whether did I hit your expectation or not, but
it's good. Yeah, it's
all right.
it's really inspiring, because like me myself, I really like to look at like self-driving car stuff. So like, this it's very inspiring, very interesting. I didn't think about that Malaysia could have something like about this time though, and like could have something like this really unexpected, because like previously we see like usually like in countries like China or US only they really have like this self-driving stuff or like Taiwan or something.
So in the process of doing this, actually the tech part is, of course, I mean, like need time to go and grind a bit, but on the regulation part, I mean, to be honestly speaking, we are talking to a lot of people, and people are just saying like, hey, not safe lah, this thing, you use computer vision to look at the road only, man. What if I go and cover the camera and stuff? So there are a lot of all these issues that we need to handle, and we really hope that we can bring this into Malaysia, like to everybody to use this thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, right, probably you guys said that you guys collaborating with Monash, right? If you guys really face difficulties or you need to have other collaborators or something, you can contact us. Probably we can also discuss up and let's see how we can. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And
of course.
can see how. Yeah, we really wish to like help you guys with what we have lah. Yeah. And also, right, for you guys, all the audience, you can actually leave a question in the Q&A. We have a Q&A starting now, but at the same time, right, like I myself have some questions for you guys.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. So like, you guys says that because of what I think is like in Malaysia, especially regulation part, did you guys like face all difficulty like getting talking to the governments, getting permits for self-driving thing in Malaysia? Because I believe that at least currently in Malaysia is not allowed or something, right? Like
yeah, exactly. So I think you asked this question is the whole it actually determines whether we can do it or not. So yes, we did face some challenges, and actually, it's something so new that no one has thought of regulating it yet. There is no committee, there is no council, no agency to do it. But then now, MOSTI, the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, they are starting to have communication with Ministry of Transport and JPJ and people to actually, any agencies to do with the road, the people that we pay road tax to, those people, they start to form a committee, and they are starting to build a framework like that. So currently we are talking to them, and we do not exactly have a permit or what, but at least they give us a private space to use it. Yeah,
that's cool. And at least like you guys have a big step forwards to actually getting to make this legal or something, right? At least it's a big step forward lah. Like they recognize you, they give you some space to actually do something.
Yeah. So the event itself would also, the Kommu team believes that it's gonna expose a lot more people to this whole self-driving thing, because we are inviting non-tech guys, like really Axia owners that think that, hey, this thing could enhance the safety of the car, could give them a convenience, all these thoughts. So like you saw in the survey just now, like a lot of people, they are interested, just that we can't have the event yet.
Yeah, sure. And also, probably we have a few questions here. Probably I can ask it for Ting. He says that how the system will decide when you face like more dilemma or education. Probably what he thinks is like, how will the system decide when they face like bugs, or you face like people crossing roads suddenly or something like that, like safety handling issues. Probably something like that. Yeah.
So to me, right, what I understand from Lokyi is, I think this is a very, very frequently asked question. So there's a theory called cart theory. So it's like whether you kill a fat person or 5 person on the road. So which one you decide, right? So I will ask you the same question back. What are the chances of this kind of things happening? But I'll still answer your question. If this kind of thing happen, right, our machine learning models actually models the behavioral. It actually learns how a human drive at a certain situation, right? So because like one Kean has mentioned, right, our system is machine learning model based. We learn the behavior of a driver. So what does the driver does during that time? It will learn the same thing during that time. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think I get it. And also, Lucky, you can if you can ask any question too. I think what you say that is you actually mimics what actually normal people would do, right? We try to mimics what we do. For example, usually people will say, oh, when we see someone, it's like we just go to the right side without thinking, without you try to mimics like what we do. Yeah. And also another question: can this system technically work for older cars like Kanchil or like Myvi or something? Yeah.
Another frequently question
Can you ask question?
also. So short answer is no, because it uses mechanical way of actuating glass. So it's very messy, and we don't really like the bulky look in a vehicle. It's possible to do it, but do you want to use something like that in your car? I don't think so, right? Yeah. So it's
and also something interesting is like I actually previously I actually have I actually have an assignment before also talking about ethical issues with self-driving car thing.
What is it?
Yeah, well, my lecturer actually give me an example. Say, okay, example, if you're he give me an example, it's a car. Once is going to 4%. Okay, for example, 4% crossing the road. Once he bang in 4%. But once he go turn to the left, then the driver itself will die. So you give me this question, then I was like,
Stop the car.
Yeah, huh?
Stop the car.
what if like so like he also gave a lot of assumption. Then also like this is really like a lot of like interesting things that we can to explore in like self-driving car. Yeah, there's a lot to explore more. And also
correct. But I want to add on something lah. So yes, these are all ethical problems, but ethical problems are problems that that is there, that it will always be there. If someone if a technology company decides to keep on addressing this question, right, then they'll be stuck in a loop, right?
They won't innovate.
They won't innovate.
So really agree with that.
Like, can I jump in a bit on this?
Sure.
Yesterday, I actually got a little bit frustrated talking to someone about this whole thing, because we are actually talking to a logistic company which is very, very big, and they set up this innovation department that they want to like, hey, because we do self-driving, so we want to like bring this, like assisted driving to their drivers, right? So we're going to them and they said, hey, we can use this for your drivers and stuff. Then they start to bombard us with all these ethical questions, and I was straight away, I was telling them like, hey, in order for our nation to improve, right, you want to see self-driving cars, right? Like not to say self-driving yet, but you want to see this element to even exist in like 1% of the whole driving experience. We need to take steps, like baby steps like that. So I totally agree with what Ting mentioned just now. Actually, from our point of view, like the Kommu team here, we want to create a thing out first. If we do not have that thing itself, like why do we even worry all this? Like we don't have the hardware, we don't have the software, then why do we even worry about the ethical issues and stuff like that? So then if say we really have the basic thing first, then only we go and improve. So the whole idea is like, we not to say anti these people, but we really want to create something for people to use first. Then of course safety will be like utmost priority. I
totally agree with you. Like usually like I really understand, because like if from tech perspective, like it really brings forward without if we always stuck at the ethical side, then we can't actually bring the technology forward. It will stop it there. Then everyone will I can't go, I cannot. Then we won't have self-driving car. Really agree with that.
Actually, some companies really gave up, like where along our way doing this, like when we feel demotivated, we go and look at articles, what happened to Malaysia, why got no self-driving cars. Actually got some company, they really pivoted, meaning to say they changed their whole direction into doing something else. So it's demotivating, and at least Kommu is still standing strong here. Not sure 5 years later, you guys see what we're doing.
This is really challenging, and also really thanks you guys really bringing this step forward. It's not really not easy. And also one question is like, okay, I think he's answering that. So how the system dealing with bad weather condition, heavy rain or haze?
I think, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, so what happens is that the system actually knows that it is uncertain. When it is uncertain, it will notify you 1 second before, and then it will disengage the system. So whatever we do in our system, right, we let the driver have a buffer time, right? So like everything that it does before, it will tell you 1 second before, because that's usually the human reaction time. So yeah, and then it will disengage, and then you will need to take over. That is why we are still called level 2 self-driving,
Yeah, level 2. Yeah, level 2 is still person there. Like level 3 only he will need to respond a little bit. Then level 4 he don't need to respond already. What I remember is I think
Yeah.
So
at least like in market car now it's all level 3, right? At least currently, like in US or in China, it's still level 3, right? What I remember. Yeah, right. But I think it's a big leap forward. Another one is like how the system behave when it detects something it cannot recognize.
Okay, so Chin Hong, I will answer you a short question and answer you a long question. So the short question is that we do not detect anything in front of you, like meaning to say we don't say, hey, there's a car, that we draw a box there and then stop, something like that, right? So if you think what you actually do during driving, right, is you look in front. If there's an obstacle, you stop, right? No matter what is it, if it's an obstacle, you stop. I expect a yes lah.
Yeah.
So our model does the same thing. It looks forward. If there's an obstacle, it will stop. I mean, it's not that. So your question was, if it doesn't detect anything, right? Our system is quite robust, and it has a lot of redundancy in it. So we take camera image, and then we take the distance as well. Some cars have radar. We tap into the radar, and then there are lots of image processing inside the vision that does the what is it called? The object detection as well. It's called object detection. We don't actually detect what object it is. We just detect if it's an obstacle. If it's an obstacle, we stop. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, probably Jin Hong can answer a little bit. I really okay. I think he actually got it, and also really motivate. It's really interesting that because I feel like what you say is really true. Like for example, you need to detect it's a person or something, then you need to have more effort to recognizing the object itself, right? Really, another thing to work on. And also, what I want to ask you, right? What is the hardest thing when you're doing this self-driving car system, like for example, hardware side or the lane tracking side? Because Malaysia road, right, the marks usually not clear, and you go to kampong, totally no line at all. So like, what is the hardest side? What you think that when you are doing this thing, like hardware side, software side, or AI side, or lane detection, or anything?
I would say it's actually the hardware side, meaning to say the safety side, right? So before I answer you that question, I will answer you and I will correct you in something first, because you said lane line detection, right? We do not do lane line detection. So we actually if you actually understand the model, how does it work, we can tell you a little bit. The model actually looks for boundary at which the vehicle can drive. So it doesn't actually check for lane lines. Like if you go kampong, then your car cannot use it, right? So we look for boundary. So back to what is the hardest part of designing this entire thing. So like Kean said, safety is paramount. We do not compromise on safety at all. So we do actually check like a lot of cases. How does a hardware fail, right? So we have to consider all of the cases and then make sure that the hardware will fall back to a file-safe state, right? Before and then it will notify the driver that it is failing 1 second before it disengages the system. So that is the hardest part. So if you enter the industry, right, people keep telling you, please look at the standard, and then you have to follow all the standard, and then the standard is 500 page, some of them even 1,000, and then you have to check all the guidelines to make sure that you consider them, you adhere to them. So it's not hard, it's more like tedious, right?
More tedious. Okay. And also, like, which part actually took you the longest time to actually get into like Perodua Axia, like get into the hardware things there?
Longest.
Or like you feel like hardest thing, yeah, or something like that. It's easy for you.
It's, I think we would say the control part. Because the control part. So because are you from robotics background?
No, I'm from software background. Sorry.
Okay. I'll just explain a bit. So robotics background, usually a self-driving car is part of the robotics system, right? So a robotics system have what we call the perception. No? The perception is what I'm a robot. What do I see around me? That's the perception stack. And then you have the localizer stack. The localizer is like, I'm here. Where is it that in this space? Where am I? And then there's the path planner. How do you go from A to B? And then later you have the control. The control is what takes the like say the path planner says that you have to go from A to B. Then now from here to go there, right? You have to turn how many degree angle of your steering to reach from here to there. But sometimes your steering will go overshoot and then and then your car will go bouncing on. So this is the control problem. So it takes a very long time to solve that.
Okay, interesting. And also, I'm curious, like, what programming languages did you use to actually build the software part?
I know some people. I hear a lot of software experts.
Yeah. Not like students not expert.
So our vision systems are mostly run on Python, but our hardware are all run on low-level C. They run on machine level C code already.
Yeah.
So it's faster now, right?
I think it's Python 2, right?
We have recently upgraded to Python 3.
Python 3.
Because of
stopping support already.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Because I remember like I remember why actually people actually start to using Python. A lot of people using Python 2 for self-driving cars. I remember it's like there's a courses or something on the platform which teaches Python 2, right? I actually see it before, but Udacity.
Yes, correct. I came from the Udacity stack also.
I remember.
Udacity is a very good place to start learning how to do self-driving. But then I would say that not all of the courses inside of Udacity teaches you the right way to do self-driving. So you know, like how there's an argument between Elon Musk saying that, hey, I don't trust LiDAR. Right?
LiDAR is doom.
LiDAR is doom. We do think it's doom as well because the way we approach self-driving is a very human-like approach. So how do you actually drive the car? You apply it into the machine learning. So you don't need extra sensors like what Kean said. Software is the king, right? So it's not the hardware that's limiting you. It's the software. If you build a good software, you can solve everything.
Yeah. And also they also discuss about like software 2.0 stuff. Like in the future, like all these more data-driven things already. So data is really, really important, especially for you guys too. You guys also need a lot of data to improve the models as well. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Also, yeah. And I know a question for Kean Wei, right? I want to ask that like how that like this currently about like are you guys getting funding from like from companies, or currently it's just all self-funded startup?
We do get a little bit of this funds from VC, venture capitalists. Not really a lot, but we would say enough for us to have an office and have some tables and chairs. And yeah.
A lot of R&D also supported.
Yeah, R&D also. Because we like Ting mentioned just now, he used the most time in doing control, right? So the control part. So he needed to do a lot of version check on this hardware. You print one PCB board, the electrical circuit board, wrong already, or you have to print a new one. So you keep on printing. So the fund also I mean, like, I mean, like, it can
really
help
burns,
us.
yeah.
We actually, I'm the one actually limiting things, spending on that. But we hope that in the future we got more allocation. I mean, like more budget to do that. And yeah, currently we are talking to the government side where they have this. Do you know the NTIS program?
Yeah, I didn't heard about that before, but I know a lot of people actually go for magic. Go to
So the NTIS is a program. It's a sandbox program under Magic, and Magic basically, yeah, they link us up with funding partners. Not that they directly give us money, but they link us up with some not VC but semi private companies where like Kumpulan, Modal Perdana, KMP, all these people, and they will listen to your pitch, they will listen to your idea, and they see is it worth to give you or not.
Yeah. Interesting. And yeah, if you guys have any question, you guys can actually put it at the comments chat session, and also at the same time, and also right, currently how is the Kommu like the system now, like in what stage now, at least in for this Perodua system?
Okay. So the progress of the system, currently the hardware, you can say, of course the hardware won't be perfect one, like we mentioned just now. Hardware is like keep on going one, but then what we have now is the lateral, meaning to say the steering one, should be okay already. It won't give us a lot of bugs like suddenly turning here or doing like ping pong stuff like that, like what Jen just now Ting mentioned. He used a lot of time to tilt on the control side. So steering is fine now, and now we are looking into the gas and the brake. So that's our progress.
Yeah, that's interesting.
The sneak peek is already done.
Yeah. Now the brake is the problem. The hardest one.
Okay. Interesting. It's really interesting that like you guys really are. I think you guys are really taking a really step forward because it's really like motivating. I would say it's really motivating for my perspective. Like you guys are doing something really challenging. Surely it's very challenging. Like all people say, hey, can one man? This one
my parents ask me.
Or like people with like less technical background, or like less innovation spirit, R&D spirit or something, they will really like question you guys a lot. But I really I wish you guys can continue the good work. Really continue. Yeah, you guys are really inspiring. That's why we actually bring you here.
Thank you. We hope in the future also we can like talk more about this. When your club have like when X-Tech or XMUM, you guys can like do physical or like plan out events or activities. I think you guys are doing at least you guys are doing some initiative in your own university. To like bring all these passionate people together. I mean, in all forms Yeah.
And also, I will encourage you guys, right? You guys probably can, you guys can actually get in touch with FYP people, right? A lot of people actually doing driving cars or stuff, right? You can actually engage with them as well.
You mean FYP, is it?
Students, FYP students, That will be like, I think I have a senior did it before. I think graduated. That's really interesting.
We hope with your connection. I mean, like we can talk to Xiamen as well, because in Monash, yes, we do. We talk to our lecturers, and also in UM. Currently in UM, we are also trying to seek help from a lecturer where they have FYP students that is passionate in doing this. So hopefully we can have more connections from the education side of things. Because those people are the passionate one. You go into the industry, everybody talk about money. Everybody talk about regulations.
The business model. Really interesting. I will try to see if whether we have computer vision or autonomous vehicle lecturers, and probably I can connect them to you. I will see first. I will actually ask my lecturer whether we have this kind of lecturer here. Yeah. And also, if it's possible, then I will see how I can connect you to them lah. And also because we usually have this is a branch at here. We have a main branch at Xiamen, China.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a branch from Xiamen, China to Malaysia because the founder of Xiamen University is actually Malaysian. So that's why they want to open, they open a branch at Malaysia. This something.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Understood.
Yeah. You guys have anything more to share? And also, probably next time when we can get back to physical, we would like to invite you to our university as well.
Sure. We invite you guys come to our office as well in the future.
Yeah. If you have a chance, probably we can stay connect. I can stay connect with you guys probably to Facebook or LinkedIn or anywhere. Yeah. Later after the session, I'll try to connect with you guys.
Yeah. We can talk. We can talk offline. Yeah.
Sure. And you guys have any more questions? You can just drop there. If not, I will count like in 2 minutes or something. Then we can end the session. And also like a few more words from like probably Kean or Ting for your like on your vision or mission for like for this for Kommu in like 1 year or 2 years. Yeah. What you wish to bring, what you wish to reach, and also what you wish to achieve or something.
Yeah, I think currently our closest goal is to actually tie up with some car manufacturers as well as some logistic companies, like I mentioned just now. Not only just putting the system into our own Perodua Axia, because now we cannot simply just sell the product, right? I mean, of course, we can just put on like our own website, then we just sell it, but then we will be breaching a lot of rules and stuff like that. So we, since we can't do that, we also will take other approach in a sense. We do like collaboration with you guys with companies to slowly bring in the element of self-driving into their business, and from there slowly the Malaysians can start to accept it. Even the government, the regulatory agencies, they will see that even like big logistic companies have they partner with this Kommu, they are trying out their system. So we are thinking all kinds of way that we can actually show this thing to Malaysians, because now we are very deep down inside, all the law is covering us up. So we want to share this, and hopefully we can really grow a community out of it, and like people can use it. So that's our vision. And of course the safety part is utmost important, and we will try. I mean, we're not gonna keep saying that we want to just bring self-driving, but now we are bringing just level 2 self-driving, which is actually we call assisted driving. And we want to serve the public in a sense. The short-term goal, like we mentioned, we showed just now our long-term milestone, right? So now we want to focus on all these things and get our hardware robust enough, our software very ready for all kinds of scenario, like the participants asked just now in the chat, like what if the weather is bad and the road got no lane lines, stuff like that. So we want to get the whole thing very robust, so that in the future the system is good enough, then there will be no problem to it. So that's our current mission, to bring out the most basic stuff.
How about Ting from your side? Do you have anything to talk about? Ting?
Talk about one thing in my mind, probably like it's a dream to have a team of people who works on the same passion together. I would say I'm a very passionate person in anything that deals with robotics, especially self-driving. So if anyone of you here in the audience want to solve this problem together, there are lots of things you will learn throughout your entire career. I mean, career with us. So you could take us as a stepping stone as well. You come in, understand how we do things a very different way compared to the industry, how we solve self-driving problems, how we formulate problems, and, build. There's one guy in our team. We have a utopia scene where we automate everything inside the company. So yeah, testing and packaging, manufacturing, everything. No one's in there. So we do not only solve self-driving stuff. There's a lot of things going on in this entire vertical. To solve this entire self-driving thing. What you guys see is self-driving. What's behind the scene is
a lot of hard work.
A lot of testing, a lot of safety checks.
Yeah, especially like startups, you need a lot of things to do.
A lot of things to do. Then you go, hey, what 3 years already? What are you guys still doing? What are you guys still at this stage? Behind there's a lot of things.
Yeah, really, startup is really not an easy thing. From looking at things. And also, I want to ask, like, where did you actually start learning all the robotics or self-driving car stuff?
I'm sorry if there's any academia person here. There's nothing I learned from the uni. So you could go your university. I mean, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't learn nothing. Sorry, I wouldn't say I wouldn't learn nothing. Because the basics are there, right? So you still have to take the initiative to actually try a project out yourself, right? So sometimes you could. I don't know if I have the time to do so. You guys can come and ask me, like, hey, is there any real world problem you want to solve? And then you solve it, right? The progress. I mean, this entire journey where you're trying to solve this problem, you will learn a lot.
Really. Working on projects, personal projects,
correct.
Because we myself mainly did web app development stuff. So currently that's what I do. But I'm really willing to explore more about self-driving cars world. That's really interesting. And so probably we have, and also our university actually have an AI major, which is just currently open, I think last year. We have AI major too.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. And so that's very interesting. I think there are nothing from the audience, and this is really inspiring stuff today. At least like for 4 weeks to now, this is really something that this is very inspiring. So let's keep really inspire me, because I really like this kind of stuff. I always look at Tesla, comment something. And so I really like Josh Hort.
Just come to our office one day.
We still visit you guys one day.
Can.
Sure. I think probably that's all for today. Mike, can you share the screen, my friend here? Can you share? And also, right, if you guys here for audience for anywhere, you wish to follow us, you can follow us XMUM Tech Lab or XMUM Tech Lab on LinkedIn, Instagram or Facebook. And next time, if you want to rewatch this presentation, you need to look at some interesting point at what they mentioned. You can go back you can subscribe our YouTube, XTech XMUM, or you can go to our Facebook page. There's a recording session there. And also really thanks today for Ting and also Kean here today. Very inspiring stuff. We like you guys, and let's stay in touch in future.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you
for
guys.
Your time. Thank you, Kean.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
We stay connected, Kim.
Stay connected.
Talk offline.
Probably I'll get your connection later.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.